So for those who are new to Inspire, or for those for whom it's been a while, I want to let you know that we kind of have a format, and our kind of format is a little bit of praise and worship like we just had, and then we spend about 5 minutes or so, and I'm going to be doing that right now, on Marianist moments. We are an outreach of the Marianist province of the United States. Inspire is happening here at the Marianist Retreat and Conference Center. And our word for this Marianist moment tonight is presence. Sorry, it's not the kind of presents that you all hope to receive for Christmas. It's something more valuable. Now, my wife Lisa is here, and when our kids were younger, we used to remind them before going to Grandma and Grandpa's house or aunts and uncles' houses around the holidays that it's not about the presents, it's about the presence. It was really kind of fun to say that. Because they'd be like, what the heck are you talking about? But it's not about the presents, it's not about the gifts that we receive as much as it is about the presence, being in the presence of our loved ones. And I don't know if you've experienced younger people or maybe people your own age struggling with this, but sometimes we get caught up in the things rather than the people. And so we would remind our kids, when you show up, say hello, smile, give people a hug, be attentive to who they are, be grateful, even if the gift that you receive is maybe not exactly what you were hoping for. Because it's not about the presence, it's about the presence. And this idea of speaking about presence, being present to people, came to me and is being brought to you tonight because I recently listened to a podcast. There is a podcast that you can find on the internet called Sharing Our Marianist Stories. Don't know if you knew that or not, but there's a podcast called Sharing Our Marianist Stories. And the most recent podcast episode featured a Marianist priest named Father Quentin Hackenworth. And he's kind of famous. He's written some books on Marianist spirituality. And one thing that he said during the podcast is this particular quote. And I'm going to see if I can do this on my computer. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to try to make it big. Hopefully you can all read that. Yes. So this quote really jumped out at me. One of the things that Father Hackenworth said. He said, the quality of our presence is more important than what we do. The quality of our presence is more important than what we do. This one sentence, in my opinion, contains far more than I could unpack in the 2.5 or 3 minutes that I have remaining in this little talk of mine. I think it's something that we could all spend time thinking about. I think it's something we could all spend some time praying about. But I believe that this quote is very Marianist. It describes the life of Mary. Think of all the moments in salvation history that Mary was present. And at least according to Scripture, she may not have said a whole lot because there are not very many words of hers that are recorded in Scripture, but she was present. Obviously, she was present. She was there when the angel appeared and said that she was going to conceive and bear a child. And she said yes. She was with Jesus. She was present to him the entire 9 months that he was in the womb. At his birth, during those mysterious, what theologians call the hidden years of Jesus. Right? There's a lot of his life that we have no idea exactly what he was doing, but no doubt he was hanging out with his mom. And she was present to him during that time. In those mysterious years, there's this one incident recorded in Scripture where they couldn't find Jesus, and they were kind of upset that he wasn't present. to them, and so but he was definitely present to them when Mary and Joseph found him in the temple. I don't know. I think they might have yelled at him. I don't know. That's my interpretation. But like, what the heck? Where are you going? Where were you? I mean, Mary was present to Jesus throughout his early, his entire earthly ministry. At the wedding feast of Cana, when he went through his passion, when he died, she was there. When he died upon the cross, she was present when he rose from the dead at the Feast of Pentecost, when the church was born, and she is present to us throughout our whole lives, as God himself is. We are continually being challenged by God to be present to him. And as I was talking to my lovely wife Lisa about this, the quality of our presence is a quality of love. It's about caring about the one you're with, because we can be present to people and not love them. We can be in the presence of people and not really care. Raise your hand if you've ever been in the presence of someone who is more attentive to their phone than they are to you. That's hurtful. Oh my gosh. And I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but I'll raise mine and say there have been times where I've been more attentive to my phone than to the person who's immediately in front of me. But have you ever been with someone and when you're with them, you feel like you are the only person, that you are the most important person in the world? So have you ever been with somebody like that? Oh my gosh, and it's memorable. It's so memorable because the quality of our presence is more important than what we do. So my encouragement in this Marianist moment is to think about this quote, and let's try with God's grace to be more present to God and to be more present with quality, with love, in the presence of God, but in the presence of the people that the Lord has blessed us with, because we've been blessed to be in the presence of each other tonight. We all have amazing people in our lives that the Lord has placed there. And it's the quality of our presence, the love in our presence, it's more important than what we